Hey there, beautiful teachers, and welcome back to your Piano Pedagogy Paintbox Challenge. I hope you're feeling colourful as we head into day 3. We're already at the middle of our challenge and I hope you're enjoying it. Today, the strategy that we've pulled out of the Foundations of Piano Teaching course, which comes out next week, the strategy we're exploring today is called Interval ID. Interval ID. This is about going through a piece before you start it. Just like putting rhythm first, we're putting something else first today. So going through a piece before you start it, before your student begins working on it, and having them simply identify all of the intervals. It's straightforward, but it works. And it helps put the emphasis on intervals. So where yesterday we were focused on rhythm first because our fictitious student was maybe struggling in that area, or you just wanted to balance things out with other ways you were working, today we're taking intervals first. So you're going to have your student, even if it's a teddy bear, go through and tap the gap between the notes and tell you what it is. Is it a second? Is it a third? Is it a fourth? Etc. Going through like that. You can also have your student sing these or figure them out in solfa as an extra step here, which is super fun. Now here's the thing I want you to focus on. That's what your student will be doing. I'll talk about a variation on that in a second that might be new to you. But I want you to more think about how you're teaching it today. So focus on how do you actually explain that to a student. Imagine your student doesn't know what an interval is. Okay, maybe they're a transfer student, maybe you're just introducing this to them and it's new. How are you going to explain what an interval is? How are you going to explain the process of tapping the space between the notes, as I've called it? Because students won't always understand that you're talking about the distance between the notes, not the notes themselves. And if they get tripped up over something like the bar line being in the way, how are you going to get them over that hurdle? And other ways that you could extend this activity if a student is having trouble. So I want you to think about all those different permutations and really carefully construct the language that you use in your imaginary lesson today. So this is interval ID, but a variation, if you've done this already, would be to have your student go through and colour the intervals. So they pick a colour, blue for seconds and green for thirds and red, etc. And they draw a line to connect those notes. This can be really useful for those students who need a little bit of extra help focusing on the intervals and understanding the concepts. You could also explore different ways that you're going to emphasize intervals that are harmonic versus melodic and how they're going to connect those two together. And if you remember Vibrant Music Teaching, maybe you go over and explore some of our interval games there to think about how could I explore this more with a student who isn't getting it. Okay? So again, find something new today. Find your newness, whatever level you're at, whatever amount of experience you have, and I look forward to hearing how it goes for you. I'll see you in the Facebook group.